Hello boys and girls of age, of course, and welcome back to another beer review. Today we're going to be reviewing this from Revolution Brewing, Deth's Tar. It is a stout aged in bourbon barrels. Great pun, first off. We're going to talk about that in a second, but let's get this thing opened up, poured into a glass, and start tasting, why don't we? Alrighty, and here it is, poured into a glass. Like a lot of IPAs, I could actually smell this thing as I was pouring it, and I can smell it pretty well right here, right now. Chocolate, but not like dark, like fruity chocolate, more like kind of like a cakey, like chocolate cake. It smells like chocolate cake. Vanilla, not getting a lot of booze out of it, to be honest, given that it's 14.8%. Crazy high. It's got a nice, really smooth, kind of mellow, round chocolatiness. And yeah, man, I'm excited to drink this, and let's do that right now. A little bit high in carbonation, I would say, for a barrel-aged stout. It's got a little bit of spritziness to it. That booziness now is coming through on the tongue. Didn't have it as much in the nose, but like when you drink it, you're getting definitely more of that booziness to it. That chocolate is still there, that nice bready, chocolate cakey kind of chocolate though. Ooh, super smooth, yeah. A lot of booze coming through. Dry though, it's not overly sweet, and a nice velvety kind of a texture, which is kind of surprising. This thing also only has 35 IBUs, so relatively low in bitterness given the high ABV, 14.8%. I think that's gotta be one of the highest ABV beers I've ever had. Let me just check real quick. Yeah, so the highest ABV beer I've ever had was the Schwarzbach 57. I'm not even really going to count that as a beer. It's more like a beer liqueur. And then the highest beer I've ever had is about a 16.4%. So this will officially be I'm going to call it the second highest ABV beer I've ever had. You notice it. I've had now 3 sips, and I think I'm already halfway to wasted. It's definitely winter warmer, but it's nice. It's really nice. You gotta be careful with it. Gotta sip it slowly. It's kind of interesting because, you know, it's a strong stout from Chicago, aged in bourbon barrels. Kind of reminds me of another Chicago barrel-aged stout. Anyway. Alright, so let's talk about this beer and more about the brewery real quick. Deth's Tar. First off, great name. Great pun to the Star Wars Imperial War space base of the Death Star. It's actually named after the founder and the head brewer of Revolution Brewing, Josh Deth, spelled D-E-T-H, hence the spelling. And Josh actually used to work at Goose Island back before he founded this brewery in 2010. So yes, actually, in fact, these beers do have similarities to them because the head brewer used to be making this beer before he started his own brewery and is now making this beer. So yeah, the circle, you know, the story has come full circle. That's what I'm trying to say. Comparing this to the Bourbon County it's a little bit difficult. Yes, they are similar in style, but I think this one's just a lot more aggressive, very flavorful, very smooth, but this is quite boozy, and it's not quite as thick as I would assume, given the name as well, Deth's Tar. Kind of think of like thick and creamy. Very good beer though. I am thoroughly enjoying it, and I'm going to enjoy it for about the next 5 hours while I'm just kind of sipping on it. And this is part of Revolution's Deepwood series, or their, barrel-aged series. They make this same beer and then have, like a cherry version, a vanilla version, a maple version, so they do different variants of it, which is very popular for a lot of imperial aged stout breweries. Bourbon County does that 3 Floyds. And Revolution is actually the largest independent brewery in Illinois and the 40th largest craft brewery in the United States. So Goose Island is now owned by AB InBev, so they're not technically independent anymore. Revolution is quite large in terms of craft beer. They come out with dozens of different styles every single year. And on Untappd, they have 385 different beers. And that's just what's on Untappd. So they're constantly coming out with new stuff. They're from Chicago and pretty much just distribute around the Chicagoland area. So Michigan, Ohio, Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin. They do some stuff in Massachusetts, New Jersey, and New York, but that's pretty much it. So not a large distribution network. So if you guys are in the Midwest and you see these beers, make sure you pick some of them up. But boo, this is definitely a slow burner. You really gotta just sip it, man. All right, we're about an hour into this and I'm finally getting down to the end. It's been rough. Like, as this thing has gone on a little bit longer, this thing is really boozy. It is not anywhere near as smooth or as round towards the end. You're definitely tasting the bourbon barrel aging of this thing quite a bit. But anyway, let's finish this guy up. Yeah, good beer, but holy crap, man. Maybe like even share a can of this stuff with a friend. Take your time with it, and definitely don't have more than one because it's going to be pretty tough. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this review of, what is it called again? Yeah, the Death Star from Revolution Brewing out of Chicago. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment below what you guys thought of it. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. And Americans, don't forget to vote. Election's coming up here in a little bit. And don't forget to write your representatives and tell them you support common sense, gun control legislation. So until next time, I'll see you guys on Beer Late. Cheers!